Hi, and welcome back to Miranda's Cauldron. Just when I was going to hit that go live button, my husband yells at me. I'm leaving now, and what were you screaming at earlier? Cats. Cats' claws, their little murder mittens, yes, they really hurt you when I'm sitting at my desk and they're running around chasing each other and playing, jumping off furniture and slamming onto the floor and into boxes and out of boxes. Then they come up from behind and running, jumping on my shoulder. Yes, with all claws. It's very, very painful. So, how's your morning been? Yes, it's still morning on at least most of Canada. It's 10 o'clock where I am on. Now it's Central Time because Saskatchewan does not change their clocks. So now we are on the same time zone as Texas and Manitoba. In the spring, when it changes, we'll be back in Mountain Time, the same time as Alberta. Anyhow, how was your full moon? I had a very interesting stream for about a little over half an hour with guests. There was quite a few people, and we were able to draw cards for some. Actually, I think everyone who attended got their cards drawn. And if you're familiar with my full moon tarot streams, I'm normally by myself, but check out yesterday's stream, and because I had a guest, and we're going to do it. Originally, it was going to be with my guest on Saturday, and she was able to join me yesterday. And so we're going to have another live stream on Saturday. So check out my streams. I'm going to draw a Runic familiar card. Runic's runes, they were the oracle kind of divination that I started with at the very beginning when my oldest son was just going to start junior kindergarten, which means he wasn't even 4 when he started school. And then that was in Ontario. They could be 4 as long as they're 4 by Christmas, they could start school. But in Alberta, they had to be 5 by April to start kindergarten. So he started in junior kindergarten. Then we moved to Alberta, where he couldn't understand why he couldn't go to school when he was at school in Ontario. But that's what happens when you're 4. I shuffled. I've spread the cards, and I've got. Look at this little black kitty with the weird big bat ears. And I think they're blue eyes. And the one thing I do not like about runes is trying to pronunciate the names. I'm going to butcher it because that's what I do. Eichwaz, Eihwaz. Let's see what, I can't remember what this means. I really need to draw my cards a little bit more regularly so I can remember what they are. Keyword: magic, liberation, rebirth, spiritual awakening, protection. Like tarot's death card, black cats are often viewed with fear, but this kitten knows the beauty of transformation. With new life, he moves closer to enlightenment. Swift energy of renewal. We have a few comments. Oh, hello, Jenna. I put a couple of comments just before I went live. Welcome to Miranda's Cauldron, writers and creative mages of all kinds. And welcome. And Jenna says, love that deck. They're so pretty, and it helps with the memory for me to remember what the runes are. Since, like I said, my son is 27. So I've had runes for decades, longer. I want to say longer than I've had my tarot cards. And the best thing about runes, you don't have to purchase them if you don't want to. All you need are little rocks. I don't have any that current, but I would find them later because they're not right on my desk. But even little river rocks, pebbles that you find going for a walk. My first runes were actually pebbles from the playground that my son started junior kindergarten. And then I've just found them in just out in nature, in the river, along the streams, that sort of thing. And I've even made some out of just like cheap clay that you can get at the dollar store. Yeah, and you just with the stones, you can just use colored markers, permanent markers, paint to create your own. And with clay, you can use a toothpick. You can use a little knife to just carve in your runes. And the one thing about runes that I rather like, they're easy to draw because originally they were carved with knives back in the Viking days, out of rocks, out of the wood. They put them on their shields, on their swords, whatever. So, yeah. And I won't draw. Oh, I can draw a tarot card because I did not draw any of the Light Seer deck yesterday for my full moon stream because I did use the 3 of my other decks, the decks I use most of the time. So I'll shuffle up with the Light Seer's deck for today, and then we will start in a writing stream. It's writing sprint, I guess. Okay, this one's kind of sticking out, so I'll use that one, and it is the 9 of Swords. She looks pretty devastated. Really upset. It's got the pillow there, so she needs rest because she's just so exhausted. And let's see what the guidebook says. Of course, the swords are with obstacles and hardships. And since it's 9, I would say they're pretty close to the end of your hardships. Nightmares, worry, feelings of depression or anxiety, fear, an opportunity to find courage, a time to focus on safety and the things that are going well in your life. I see my fears as the illusions that they are. And on the Shadow Seer side, paranoia, deeply anchored fears, inability to think clearly, inner turmoil, negative self-talk affecting self-esteem. Okay, well, I'm thinking personally, the 9 of Swords is speaking to me on the shadow side. I'll just put that on my little tray with my cards for my cards that I drew yesterday. So I'm going to bring up my kitty timer. And yeah, my bandwidth provider, whatever you want to call it, connection works so much better when I'm not using another YouTube timer. So I think I'm just going to stick with the kitty. So we're going to start the first timer with 25. See you in 25. and welcome back. Dawn popped in. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I ended up journaling my cards that I got yesterday during my stream. I always record them, the ones I draw for myself for these streams, and as well as special streams. Next, I'll go back to my HB90 task box from last week. I think I counted them all up so I know how many task blocks I did towards each of my goals. I think I also set up my goals for this week. One more like projects. I think I did that. It's kind of out of whack my mind this week because, of course, being sick, I had to cancel Mondays. And Monday stream is usually when I review last week's, like the previous week's task box from HB90, which will be starting off again next month. There's a kickoff enrollment at the beginning of every quarter. So we can, if you want to join, go over to Heart Breathings and find the links and go sign up. I highly recommend it. I know I was just needing a method to keep track of what I'm actually doing with my day, because I was one of those lucky moms who was able to stay home with their kids. And I really didn't have a career to fall back on, even though I did go to college, but it just wasn't for, I would rather just stay home. But anyhow, that's for another matter. So I literally have all day to do whatever. And I was finding that I was spending way too much time watching TV, reading, coloring, not really doing anything really productive. So I found the Heart Breathings Running community and their writing sprints, and the spark returned because I was no longer writing alone, which is so much. It's calming. It's reassuring that you know that, yes, you're a writer, you want to get these books published, but you're also alone. But the writing sprints is proof that you're not alone. Especially on some streams when you could have anywhere between 12 to 30 people streaming, writing together. So it's always fun. We have about 2 minutes left of our break. Everybody looking forward to the weekend? It's coming soon. But I'm more interested in I just cannot wait till summer, even spring. Heck, even next week is supposed to be back around the Ciro mark, which is really nice because being in Canada, we do things Celsius. So lately it's been about minus 25 Celsius. And then you throw in the wind and it's even colder. But today's not so bad. I was able to go out and feed the kitties during my last sprint. And I was actually out there in just my hoodie, no shoes, because, well, I'm feeding them on the deck now, and there's no snow on the deck, which is nice. And my little temperature popped up on my screen, and it is now minus 23 with no wind because there's no breeze in the trees. Pure branches. So anyhow, since no one is being chatty, I am just going to continue getting things done. And I'll see you in about 26 minutes. Happy writing or creating or whatever you're doing. Another sprint finished. I realized that this week is totally out of whack. Being Thursday, I hadn't even filled out my task blocks from Monday, which was fine because I spent most of the day binging TV and blowing my nose. Sorry for the visual. So that was good. Practically the whole day was up for sickness. I used the Revised Writers Planet planning system as well as HB90. And the great thing about doing it in a notebook is if you make a mistake, like I usually for the planet, I divide the page in half. So the first thing I do is the gold stars of the previous week. And then on the other side of that line, I write up with the important dates. Did I do that this time? No. I just did the same way as I do the HB90. The first bit I do is the important dates of that week. So you can't even see it. I don't even know I'm showing it. But it's wrong. Luckily I did it in pencil, so I can just erase it. But if I done it in pen, that's what washi tape is for. Cover all that nasty pen mistakes. And I even use my squibbly line to do that. So if I use my washi tape, I really can't write over top of it. I could, but no. So what I'm going to have to do is erase it, what I did in pencil. I could do a washi tape for the important dates because it's only those 2 words. And just continue on. And so what if I have a scribbly line in the middle of it? That's just the way things are. So how is everybody doing with the stream, with your sprints? Are you getting anything done? Is anyone still here? Oh, the little eye says there's 3. So maybe if that is correct, maybe people are just so busy writing or doing other things that you don't want to share, which is totally fine. I'll just sit here and ramble on. I really wished I had my phone. Well, I have my phone and I can grab it. But one of my little black kitties, this side of my desk, there's basically just storage. Just plastic totes full of some of it's my kids' stuff. Some of it is crafting things that I want to do, but I haven't yet. And well, my little black kitty found those great big Christmas balls that you can do crafts with. Well, he found one of those and he was pawing at it and batting it around like a soccer ball. Then he picked it up and carried it away like a prize mouse. Wonder what he's doing with it now. I don't hear it anymore, but he's probably just cuddling with it, just being a silly little kitty. Well, this is break number 2, and it seems like no one wants to chat and make up. Let us know what you're doing. So I am just going to carry on with getting things done. So I'm just going to mute this, step away for a bit, and come back to finish my planet so I can figure out what I was supposed to do this week. Sure, it's Thursday. I do feel a little bit better. So hopefully the next few days I can actually get some writing done. More importantly, we have a question and answer on Saturday for Publish and Thrive for Module 2. I have a few videos watched, but I think I'm going to do some more. So that's my goal for today and tomorrow is to watch. I'm not sure how many videos, but if I can put in a solid 4 to 6 hours over the next 2 days, that'd be bonus. But I don't want to overdo it because normally when I haven't been feeling well and I overdo it, then the next week I'm out too. And I want to get lots done, especially for next week because it's a holiday here for the kids. So I've got no kids to babysit. show and see you in 25. And how did everybody do? Hello to Angel Faye who popped in. What are you working on? I ended up going for a snack, which turned into I needed to gather up the dishes from the deck from when I fed the kitties earlier, which turned into tossing some of the kitties back outside because they all wanted in. They do have a shed with a little fort of hay or straw, one of the two, can't remember. I think it's hay. No, I think it was straw. I think straw is what we do to keep them from warmth. But it's just the bales and then a little bit of the stuff scattered out and a blanket over top of it and a tarp. So they're nice little warm. And I continued with my planet the proper way. Right now I'm working on the what Tracy calls the 156 hours, which is basically that's how many hours you have in a week. And then keep track of, okay, how many hours do you normally sleep during that week? And if you have a day job and how long it takes you to do your meals, and if you have like a morning routine. I put my morning routine as basically, I don't really, like, a lot of the time it's like maybe only like half an hour. If you have to get up and go to work and you got to do all that stuff. But for me, my wake up is my morning routine would be, okay, get the coffee, drink the coffee, breakfast, feed the cats, that kind of stuff. And then just sit there and do nothing, like watch TV or read or something. So I normally don't get to my desk to do anything creative till about 10 my time. So that's usually about 3 task boxes, because the first task box, if I have the kids, they're still here. So I'm working through that, and then you just you subtract how many hours you got that you have time already accounted for that you got to look after. Like if you have any family time, or there's different categories. And then you figure out how much time you have left for your goals. So I'm working on that right now. And Angel Faye is working on a novel for Ink It. I've heard of that, but I'm not involved with it. It's a project called Ice Figure. Ooh, interesting. I really hope I can get to my novel today. Between my writing my novel, well, I'm actually revising it, editing it, revisions, all that fun stuff, and getting ready. That's book 2, but I'm in the middle of 1 chapter, and I'm almost done that chapter. I just have to type up the corrections, and then I'm going to put it aside and go full-fledged onto formatting, because I really, really, really hope to get my book 1 of Essence of Elements in proof copy. But of course, you got to edit it first and then do the upload on KDP if that's where you're going to get your copy. So I have to do that, but I also have to go through module 2 of Publish and Thrive so I wouldn't be overwhelmed. College romance, enemies to lovers. I write young adult paranormal fantasy because of witches and elementals. Like my Essence of Elements is basically, think X-Men when they have powers, and for this generation it's in their DNA. Somehow it got shifted, and so there's kids being born out there, not all of them, but just some of them, that have the control over earth, air, fire, and water. Like my main character, she lived with her parents until she was, let's just say, until she was rescued, and now she's at a camp with other elementals. She's got fire, and then her best friend has air, so she likes to do the little tornadoes, and another one of her friends likes to put people in a box. So she does this funky little hand formation, and whoever's trying to cause her harm can't move because they in an air box. So that's what I'm doing. And just before I go to the last sprint, I'm going to draw a cat wisdom card. I'm just going to, this one's sticking out, and it is speak your truth. The little birdie is telling the cat what's going on because, well, you know that normally cats and birds don't get along. So this is our last sprint, and I'll see you in lesson 25. Happy writing. And that was the end of our time together. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I got my planning done for the week. Yeah, it's Thursday, but that's fine. I really haven't been able to do too much the last 3 days. So hopefully today is the turning point and I can get some things done. I draw 3 cards of tarot every week for myself, usually on the Monday when I plan my week on my Monday stream. Earlier in the stream, I drew the 9 of Swords. Interesting how I drew the 9 of Swords. Again, I have 2 tarot, the Light Seer's tarot deck, 2 different sizes. One I got from my friend, who just happens to be my son's mother-in-law, which did not have a book. So I ended up getting the smaller version of the same deck with the book. So it's interesting how I got a reminder of 9 of Swords, which is basically you're feeling overly overwhelmed, a little depressed, not feeling yourself, which is quite fitting for me. And I also drew 2 other cards, and for some reason, the shadow side of the cards are speaking to me more than the light side. Interesting how that can be sometimes, how your cards are just trying to send you a message. And I also got the Page of Cups for myself, which is basically you keep missing the signs. So maybe that's why I keep getting all these extra reminders. Hope everyone is going to have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you are into tarot and Moonology cards and all that kind of oracle new age stuff, I'm having another stream on Saturday for that at 5 p.m. Eastern with maybe even a guest. Yesterday was fun, so we'll do it again, possibly, on Wednesday. And for writing streams, I still have to make up the thumbnail, but I'll be back on Monday for my next live writing stream. And hopefully I feel better and I can actually plan my week and get things done. But nevertheless, this is only Thursday. So I have all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. So hopefully I can get through a few more videos for Publish and Thrive Module 2. And maybe even get my next chapter all revised, typed up, ready to go. Put that aside because I have another project I need to get back to. And that is my novel set back in 1984, which I think is rather amusing since my characters are the same age as I was back then. But it's not me because I don't have magical powers. Sometimes I really wish I did. Interesting. Magical powers. Would you want to have control of one of the elements? Would you really want to start fires? Like that movie and books that was back in the, 70s or 80s that was turned into a movie and then remade? Sometimes the magical power that I would like is that telekinesis, so you can actually move things with just a wave of your hand. So much easier to clean the house, moving things back and forth, rearranging your room because you just need to do something different in your area, even if it is just moving a comfy chair or the dining room table. Be so much easier with that power. And another interesting power that I would love, it was be teleportation. You know what I'm trying to say? Teleportation. Because I would really like to, instead of flying, I would just like to, with the snap of my finger, go from point A to point B, especially when the weather's crappy. Like, who wants to drive in a winter storm? Not me. Who wants to spend 6 hours on a plane? Not me. or 9 hours in a truck to go visit your daughter in another province. Yeah. So teleportation would be fun. And hello, Heather. Hello. So next for streaming for Heart Breathings, if you are a hearty, will be this evening. Oh no, this is Thursday. We have Diane streaming in less than an hour. So that means I have less than an hour to have a little bit of a break, have some lunch, and get back to my desk to actually get something else accomplished. I did get a lot done these past 2 hours, but not nearly as much as I wanted to. But that's the way it is. I will see you guys all next Monday for our normal writing sprints. So next week, if all goes planned, will be Monday and Thursday. And then I'm going to be popping in again on Saturday, late afternoon. I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern for another tarot stream. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.